All right. All right. Now we're going to go home. We're going to take this thing home now. What we're going to do is we're going to add just a couple more sort of features to this. One of them being a clustered column chart. We've done sort of a chart already, but this one is going to get us to a different type of chart, and we're going to basically put some stuff on it and put some titles and goofy stuff like that. And then there's just a few more little things that this exercise wants you to get. So I'm going to look at this, and so the whole deal right now is to draw a clustered common chart, and on this. So off I go. So first thing it wants me to do is select the range of A3 to F3. So we're going to be very careful about this. The F3. This is basically going to become our breakdown. Basically, what's the best way to call it right there? Yeah, it's going to become the horizontal axis. All right, now we're going to hold down the control, and now we're going to grab the data, and the data is going from A9, so this information, to F12. So what's going on here? What we're trying to do, oh look, I already blew it. It's A9 to F12, not B9 to F12. So I'm going to try that again, holding my control down. There it is. That's what I want. So I want you to imagine that what we're trying to do is produce a graph that's listing these categories, and then each bar will be broken down by year. Okay, so now I'm going to go and click on the Insert tab. And in the Insert tab, the next thing to do is go to the Recommended Charts button, which is in the Charts group. So here's the Charts group, and there's the Recommended Charts button. I'm going to click on this, and it says it can't find it. So that must mean that I didn't select all the right stuff. So let's try that again. I think what I'm going to do, I think probably that whole control and clicking thing messed that up. I'm going to try that again. So I did what basically the book is suggesting. Boom, up it comes. Okay, great. So what we want is we want to look at the recommended charts. Now there's a whole bunch of charts. Some make sense, some don't. This is a clustered column. Sure, great. This is the lines, this you're stacked and so on. So let's do this guy because that's kind of what they're asking for. But obviously, when it's your real life, what you're going to do is pick the one that you think is appropriate. So it says click the clustered columns, which we've just done, which is all four categories as columns. I'm noticing it doesn't. It seems to have one of them as not a column, but we'll see how we can fix that. And then I'm going to click OK. I'm going to click OK, and there it is. Now, here's the deal. It's sitting right now inside of this spreadsheet. I would not like to do that, so I would like to move it. I want it to be its own sheet. So I'm going to go and move the chart to its new location, and you're going to give me a title, aren't you? Yeah. So other revenue chart. Okay. I'm going to go OK, and now it's been moved into there. Again, I don't know why it's making that a line, but I'm just going to proceed as if nothing's wrong. All right, so let's have a look at this. By the way, I'm pretty sure we'll be able to fix this as we move on. So there, I've done that. I've in theory got this, except one of them is a line. Okay, great. Next, insert the chart title. This is going to be the easiest one to do. You basically click on the chart title and then type up here what you want the chart title to be, which is the 5-year projected revenue. I'm going to copy. I'm going to put that here. I'm going to go paste. I'm going to hit enter. All right, so that's the title. Now it wants me to do a couple things, other things. It wants it to be underlined. So let's go home and underline the thing. So now it's been underlined. Anything else you want me to do with this thing? Okay, so just deselect. Okay, that was an easy page. Add data labels. Now here's where it gets, I think, kind of cool. I'm going to get rid of this. This is talking about formatting some of these areas and stuff. I'm not going to deal with that yet. Let's get rid of it. All right. So right now, these charts, yeah, it's bothering me. I may be pausing in a minute to see if I can fix that offline. But anyway, right now, these charts, they're just bars. They don't actually have the accuracy of you knowing what information these actually are. Like for example, how much is this? Is it 105? Is it 100 and well, actually it is 105. It's just saying that right there. But it'd be nice if that information was sitting on top. So we see here we actually have the ability to start adding some stuff, and one of them we can add are labels. And you can kind of get a preview of the label when you do that. Now, when you hover over it. But let's see, what do you want? You want flyout? Okay, so data labels, and here's a little arrow here, and if I click on that arrow, I can kind of see some other options. Like, do I want that thing to be in the center? Do I want it to be inside base, and so on? They tell us they want it to be outside end, so I'm going to do that. All right. I'm now just going to click back, or actually click off, and now I can see the effect there. Let's scroll down. Is there anything going on? No. I'm going to hit that button and move next. Before I do filters, let me pause and see if I can actually fix this. So I'll be right back. All right, so I fixed it, and I'm guessing again, user error on my part. How did I fix it? I went to chart design. I said chart design, right? Chart design, change chart type. It was a combo for some reason, and that's why I got the lines. Maybe I clicked on that by accident, but I really wanted to have the cluster column. And as soon as I click on custom column, you can see that the line has become a bar, and I can feel a lot better about my life. So I got that. So let's move this guy over. Cool. So now let's talk about filtering. So filtering, I can basically choose what I'd like to see on the chart. And so, for example, if I don't want to see the bars for corporate bonus, which is sad, I'm going to get rid of that. And now it doesn't happen right away. You got to go apply, and now it's gone. All right, cool. Also in here, by the way, there is the option. Um, oops, in the filter, there is the option if you want, if you've missed something, you can actually add data here as well, right? But you know, that's not where the book's going, but you should know that. Now we want to add a title to this side. So it says add an access title to the chart. And what we're trying to do is get something on this side of the chart because we kind of know down here what this stuff is, but we don't necessarily know what this is. Is this 100,000 people, 100,000 cats? What is this 100,000? So what we're going to do is we're going to go click anywhere in the chart, right? Click on chart elements to display the elements gallery. So again, that's this guy. And what I want to do is I want to go to access titles. Right. Access titles. And I want the horizontal. No, I believe I want the vertical. And notice it's kind of showing us where it's going to go here, right? Um, Hard for me to show you without pointing to it, but when I go primary horizontal, it's showing up down here just under 2028. When I go primary vertical, it's showing up right here, right between 100,000 and 80,000. So we're going to do that. I'm going to click on that, and I think we're good there. Yeah, we're good. Now I'm going to click off that. I believe what they want me to do is change it to a dollar sign. Okay, so I'm going to change it to a dollar sign. There it goes. Now it's sideways, which is not what I want either. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to basically click on it, right click, format the title, and I believe, yeah, right? You're going to show me anyway, right? But yeah, it's this guy. And what I can do is change the rotation of it to be horizontal. And now it's hard to see, but the dollar sign is standing straight up. All right, so that's fun. We got that done. Great. Move on to the next page. We're on the next page. We're going to change your chart style. Now, I actually just did that to fix my line problem, but let's talk about that for real now. So you go chart design, change chart, oh, sorry, style. That's over here. Click on this. You can choose a different style, and you can kind of see what they're going to look like. All right, when you're moving around. You guys want me to do what? You guys want me to click style 14. That's 12. Are you 14? You're 14. Boom. So now I've just changed the style to 14. Cool. Next. Once you basically got the content of your workbook done, you can now sort of organize it. And that's kind of what we're going to talk about now is organizing your book. So one thing for sure is renaming. This is a big fan of renaming and coloring. So We have other revenue already, and then this guy was a 5-year projection. The reason it's called by 3.9, by the way, is that this is I'm trying to sync this up to the book so I don't get lost in what I bet you want to do. So now I've got basically these two together. Now the other thing it wants me to do is change the color. So change the color of this guy to blue-green accent. So I'm going to click on this. This is the other one. Yep. And I'm going to right click on it. And I believe the tab color and blue-green. Is that what you are? Who is blue-green? Who is blue-green? Right? Did you say blue-green? Blue-gray, Grant. If they're saying blue-gray. Okay, that's better. And then the accent 3, 80%. Beautiful. Done. Yeah, it's showing up there. All right. Double clicked. I changed this guy to 5-year. Now we want this guy's text color to be green accent, whatever. So, text color, right click, and I'm trying to remember. That's not, this guy is the actual tab color. Yeah. Yeah. If I go tab color, it's just going to change the tab, isn't it? Yep. 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 And more colors, by the way, just gives me more colors. Well, here's something. If you can remember it from one of the previous exercises, I may be pausing this one too to see if I can figure this one out. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna pause the video and I'll be right back after I've remembered how to do this thing. All right. I think I was just suffering from my day because it's not asking that. It's asking for the tab color. So this is exactly what we did already. So I'm gonna right click on this guy and tab sheet color. And what are you saying? You're saying green accent one. Green accent one, 80%, 80%. Done. Beautiful. Doesn't look that great to me, but fine. Um, Reordering the sheet tabs, so you can just click on a sheet, drag it over, see the little arrow that pops up. Boom. Now you've basically reordered the sheet. Spelling. You wanted to check on spelling. Well, spelling basically, I believe it's review, right? Is that review? Spelling. So if you click on this guy, you'll go ahead and check the spelling. I'm going to check everything. And apparently it's really cool. So that guy's done. Printing, previewing and printing the sheet. All right. So here's the thing, what you want to do with the printing part. Now, I'll get to this in a minute, but just so you know, there's a few options for printing, and I don't think I like the way this was done. So I just want to show it to you. So I'm going to maximize this. Oh, you're killing me sometimes with that. All right. So I'm going to go, first of all, this is what the book will do. We'll go file, print. Now, before I do that, let's go back. This sheet is selected. So when I go file, print, it's going to give me that sheet. Now, this is the way it's going to look. Now, if you just go down, you're going to see that that's probably not the way you want it to print. So one thing for sure you're going to want to think about doing in real life is like changing orientations around or whatever so you can get the whole thing onto one sheet. Now, even that didn't do it. So there's an option now. You could, yeah, scale. Scale basically fitting onto one page. And now you can get the whole thing onto one page, right? And obviously, if you're working in a company that's got longer papers, you can start messing around with that. That's if you want to print the entire sheet. Now, if you don't want to print the entire sheet, maybe, for example, you only did want like this. Another option is you select what you want, you go File, you go Print, and you can basically say, I'd like to print the selection. And so that's that one, right? Another option, while I'm sitting here, you can say print the entire workbook. And this will assume that you want to print the entire workbook. Okay, so those are some of the sort of the options that are pretty well available to you if you're using Excel. So now going back to what the book wants us to do now. So it wants us here to do two sheets. So I'm going to click on this sheet. I'm going to hold the control down. I'm going to click on this sheet. Now these two are active. I'm going to click on File and go to what they call the backstage view. I'm going to click on Print. All right, so it definitely now has both those sheets selected. I can go Print, portrait orientation. So I did that. I changed the landscape so it'll be better. I scaled it to fit sheet on one page so it'll be better. I can look at this thing. I can click on Print. Another common thing for people to do, by the way, is you can print as a PDF, right? And then share it in an email. That's what I've been doing so far. And basically that's what you kind of get. So that's good. Yep. And that's sort of a way for you to sort of get your stuff out there after printing. All right, so we're going to leave printing now, and it says changing the view of a worksheet. I can easily change the view of a worksheet. So what are you talking about here? You're talking about, oh, literally changing the view of a worksheet. Okay, so here you go to view, and then here they're just talking about things like zooming in, right? So I'm going to do that. Holy smokes. Somebody is trying to reverse up my super steep driveway, and I'm trying not to pay attention. Anyway, and he hits my tree. All right. Well, okay. So let's just get back to this. So we're going to basically take this guy saying, click on this, click on the view tab. We got that done already. The zoom, not surprisingly, you can kind of zoom in, zoom out. Another option, by the way, is down here. You can always zoom in, zoom out. All right. So, where are we? Yeah, zoom out. That's another option. Okay. What else do you want me to do? All right. So basically, that was all about zooming in, and that's awesome. Let's go next. Next one is freezing worksheet columns and rows. This is actually kind of super, super important. So what we're going to talk about here is the freezing. So what they're talking about here is this button. Now, right now, if I was to scroll down, do you see how it like the top columns or top headings just roll right off? What we can do is freeze this so that as we scroll down, these rows will stay. And that's what we're about to do. So, uh, so click freeze pane to freeze the rows, columns to the left of the selected cell. Oh, I wasn't paying attention. Where was I supposed to select here? Okay, scroll the worksheet until Excel displays row 3 at the top. Okay, we'll do that. So down we go. Ding, ding. Now it's at the top. Um, I column A first. Great. Select B. Gonna select B. Click freeze pane buttons. Freeze pane. And I think I'm about to hit the freeze panes. Click freeze panes. And now if I scroll, nope, that didn't do it. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, I've done it this way. So it's frozen vertically. All right, cool. Now scroll down. Okay, so I did that. Columns to the left. Yes, okay. Until row 8 is directly visible. All right. And and then what? Oh, okay, we've just done that. I've just shown that. So, okay, so in this case, I've frozen right here, and you can see a solid line. Now, let me tell you again, without just screwing around to get this exactly, what I would do here, first of all, I'd unfreeze. One common thing to do in my mind is just to sort of highlight what you want to freeze, go freeze pane, and now, it's sort of frozen at the top, and in this case, it's also a little bit frozen to the side, right? Sort of another option here, let's go freeze, unfreeze. I'm sure you probably, oops, that was totally not what I wanted to do. So let's go back to 100%. Another option is to basically, with the freeze, you can freeze the top row, you can freeze the first column. Freezing the first column is not a bad option here. If I'm going to freeze that, and then I wouldn't necessarily want to freeze the top column, so I think I'm going to go freeze pane. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm noticing it's not. Yeah, I suppose. I don't know. I'm trying to remember what I actually thought about here, but I know that you can basically freeze that. I'm not surprised you can't freeze those columns and then freeze these rows as well. But if you can, leave me an email about that. I just talked about unfreezing and what if analysis. Okay, so this was kind of cool. So what if analysis is you want to I love how this blocks off the text. Anyway, you want to freeze only the column headings, the appropriate cell and column A before you pick freeze panes. Okay, that's great. But what are we talking about? The what if analysis is your ability to basically now use the true power of Excel here. And we're going to basically say, okay, we kind of have a little bit of a what if analysis going on here, where we're basically screwing around with percentages. If we said, for example, hey, if we get what happens if we increase the number of rooms available to like 80, for example, or what happens if the expenses drop to 3? I mean, we can do that and then see its impact here. But that's kind of going from sort of the cause to the effect. What if you want to basically increase your gross margin to 6,500,000? That's kind of what they're going at here. So let's just move forward and see how this goes. So to analyze data in a worksheet by changing values. And so here, they're talking about basically changing some of these percentages around. So let's do that. So we're going to go to K5 and change the occupancy to 4.25. Because this is already a percentage, it's going to interpret it as a percentage. And K9 is going to go to 17%. So K9 is going to go to 17%. Right? We're already seeing an impact throughout the entire spreadsheet when we do this. All right? So that's cool. And you know what? I think this is probably a good time to save it. So I'm going to save the worksheet. Okay, next. But then this is idea of goal seeking is a problem-solving method in which you specify a solution and then find the input value that produces the answer you want. In this example, to change the 5-year gross margin to this 66.5 million, the occupancy rate in this has got to increase by those percentages. Now, that's what the goal is. So let's see how we can get this thing to work. So we're going to go next. And it says, so select G19. That's where the goal is. Now, we don't just change it to 65. If we change it to 6.5 million, then we've overwritten the formula. But what we can do is go to the data tab. Go to the data tab. I'm just going to expand this now. Go to the data tab. Where am I? Go to the data tab. Okay, collapse again. We're going to go to the data tab. And okay, go to the data tab and then the what if analysis. Okay, so let's again do that. Here's where I wonder if I have the right. Yeah, it's now. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. I had both sheets selected. So it's basically saying it couldn't do a what if analysis on both sheets, but it can do it on one. So let's take this guy, move him over, what if analysis. Okay. If everything just worked, you know, you never learn anything. All right. So now display the data tool, what if analysis button to display the what if analysis menu, which I've just done here. Okay. Click goal seek to display the goal seek dialog. There it is. I want to set J19. I want to set that value to 6,500,000. All right. And then it says by changing cell. And I want to click on K5. So K5, the occupancy rate. All right. And then we hit enter. At this point, we filled in the wizard. We click OK. And we're going to see some stuff happen here. So what it's done, the occupancy rate has changed. Yeah. The occupancy rate has changed. It's gone up. And that's how much the occupancy rate would have to change in order for us to get to 6.5 million after several years. All right. Now, I'm trying to think, do you want me to go okay? You do want me to go okay. If I click cancel, it's going to basically revert itself, right? So I'm going to go okay, and we're done. So I can click on this guy. And now the next thing Again, we're using Excel for a reason. It's actually got some intelligence in it. The Insights feature in Excel uses a search engine and other things to help us get more information about the content in our workbook. So if I go over here to review, I will see that I have an Insights, right? Right, dude. So review. Okay, this I didn't do before I kind of came on, and now again I'm starting to ponder my life choices. Okay, so click on the review tab and then click the smart lookup. Oh, I wonder if this is one of those that I don't actually have it. Oh, right there. No, no, it's a hide thing. All right, no, I don't have it. So I tell you what, that will be an optional part because if I can't do it, there's a possibility you can't do it. So definitely look through that. Accessibility, though, I know you definitely can do, and I think that's also in the review, isn't it? Accessibility. Yeah, check accessibility. So, and of course it's mad because we've got right out here a bar chart and we'd have to basically want to specify what we have in the bar chart and then fix it. So that's the accessibility. All right. So this last bit of the, so you just type in something. You could type in whatever you wanted to. This is, you could say this is a chart that does this, or maybe put in like the actual values. Although again, that person could get it just from, uh, just the actual spreadsheet. If you click on alt text, it's going to try and sort of, yeah. Yeah, if you click on alt text, that's sort of a way to also get that information too. All right. Well, that was fun. So hopefully you were able to sort of follow a lot of this along. There's some really neat ideas. The most important ones I can think of right now are for sure, the anchoring. That happens like all the time. The freezing, that happens all the time. Um, for your own benefit, the accessibility thing that I just blasted through, that's kind of important. Obviously, how to do charts. So you're at this point pretty well suited for almost every single thing I can think of you doing in a college and at least the first few years in the workplace. I am going to look a little bit ahead to see what some of the other stuff is. If I see something compelling, we might have one more Excel. Otherwise, I would much rather start jumping into Access. So let's see what I got coming up for us. But again, thank you for watching.